This video was inspired by a viewer comment. In my last video, I talked about the possibility of Part 2 dividing chapters between Cloud's party and Yuffie. Daniel Pratt responded to my last video by saying, "I think this is probably going to happen, but not with Yuffie. We should probably see something like this with Zack. So, 3 or 4 chapters with Cloud and 1 with Zack. I think this would be a pretty interesting possibility for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. More and more, I think that Final Fantasy VII Remake as a whole is probably not technically a remake." Here's a quote from producer Yoshinori Kitase on PlayStationLifestyle.net. "Because they know the story, they meaning the fans, the players, you and I, that gives us the opportunity to deliver them something they expect, yet also show them something that not only surprises but also goes beyond their expectations. We want to create a game that lives up to their expectations but also throws them off in a good way." So we know that Final Fantasy VII Remake follows the original story pretty closely, but there are also a handful of things that are quite different from the original game. Spoiler alert if you have not yet played the game. For example, at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cloud's party fights against Sephiroth, but in the original game, Sephiroth's first appearance is in the flashback after they reach the town of Calm. The other members of Avalanche, Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse, are assumed to have died in the original game after the fall of the Sector 7 plate. But at the end of Remake, Biggs survives, and Jesse's fate is left slightly ambiguous as well. Aside from these, there are a few other major changes between Remake and the original. But one huge difference is the appearance of Zack in Remake. I know I keep saying this and I apologize, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around Zack's appearance in Remake. I don't really understand it, but I'm sure it will be made clear as subsequent installments of the game get released. Zack Fair was not playable in the original game, but will he be playable in Remake Part 2? I'm not sure. Daniel Pratt thinks it's possible. Anything's possible, so why not? Yuffie was an optional character in the original game, but in Intergrade, she already has 2 fleshed out DLC chapters dedicated to her, and there are also elements of Deep Ground. I feel like Final Fantasy VII Remake might turn out to be a fully fleshed out, reimagined, all-encompassing version of the original game. The final game could include elements of Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus, so as of the recording of this video, I think it's quite possible that Zack will be playable in Remake Part 2. As to how many chapters might be dedicated to him in the next installment, if any, well, that's anyone's guess. So here's my question for you. Do you think that Zack Fair will be playable in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you liked this video and you want to see more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Stay odd and keep on playing.